I knew from a very young age that I was different. And Star Wars put me on a journey of my life that I have become very proud of.
Every day was Star Wars.
When I was really little, Empire Strikes Back.
I will say that Star Wars is my first.
Yeah, I saw the X-Wing.
Everyone has a Star Wars story. I'm Jordan Hembrough, and I've turned my passion for Star Wars into a career. Today, I'm in Washington Township, New Jersey to meet FJ, a collector who learned from Star Wars that it's okay to be different. This is FJ's Star Wars story.
Hey!
Jordan, what's up?
How are you?
How's it going?
So I have many pieces in my collection that really remind me of my journey and how I've become who I am today. For me, it's a way, a physical way, to hold on to all those feelings that those movies evoke. It's a way for me to grab on to nostalgia and to memories of my childhood and my parents and my friends. Since that was a safe place for me as a child, it just makes me feel safer as an adult too. But it's also, when I look around in my collection, it's a representation not just of that, but of my journey of learning to become comfortable with myself and to be okay with who I am.
Tell me about that.
Growing up back in the 80s, I was a child who really didn't feel like I fit in. I kind of didn't fit the mold of what a boy was supposed to fit into. I always knew that I was different somehow. Flash forward to my life now, I'm a gay man. So back when I was young, I just hid that as much as I could. Didn't know gay at the time, but one way I did kind of have an idea was, instead of, having a crush on my beautiful third grade teacher that most of my friends did, I had a crush on Luke Skywalker.
Did you?
I did. They had posters of Heather Locklear up in their room, and I had a poster of Luke Skywalker.
You have dreamy eyes.
Exactly. I mean, I've watched each movie hundreds of times over the years. Every time I watch it, I would find myself pausing different parts and analyzing different parts, and all of a sudden getting deeper meaning out of it. And one particular spot that I tended to pause a lot on was the cantina scene. That's always been my favorite scene. It was just this place that, to me, was just an amazing place, and I wish that I could go there. I wish that I could be there, because everybody there was different. Just like I felt different, everybody at that cantina was different, yet, for the most part, they all got along. They weren't outsiders there.
Yeah.
Because everybody looked weird and different. And I knew I may not have looked different, but I knew inside I felt different. And I didn't want anybody to know that difference inside me. I mean, it was something that I was ashamed of, and I hid. I kind of was jealous of those cantina aliens because they didn't do that. They just came in and they were who they were. That was kind of my hope, that I could one day feel that great in my own skin, that maybe someday somebody would be okay with me being different. I think it gave me a little bit of hope and inspiration.
All right, so you've got someone special in your life right now. All right, tell me about him.
So his name is Joe, and we've been together 5 years now. He just makes me feel like I've always supposed to have felt. When I first met him, I reverted back into my, fearful childhood state when you meet somebody new. So I kind of hid my obsession with Star Wars from him right away. I did, which is silly. And then as we, started our relationship and really were growing together, all the stuff would start to trickle out. It was he who gave me the idea to build this Star Wars room. It started as my office, and then it just took over, and my entire collection is out.
Is Joe a Star Wars fan? Joe, are you a fan? Wait.
I've become a fan over time. I've come to embrace Star Wars, and even this past Christmas, I was actually really excited because I found an AT-AT that he always wanted.
Oh.
With the box.
Were you surprised?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But secretly, I really wanted it.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an AT-AT.
He kept playing with it Christmas morning. I couldn't even get my hands on it.
Oh my God. Look, you got to understand something. As long as you're with this guy, you're going to be a Star Wars fan.
Which is fine.
Thanks, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
Look, there he goes. There goes a Star Wars fan.
My dad was a collector by nature. He collected antique tools, antique books, so he was always a collector. So when he saw my obsession, as it became when I was little, of getting all these strange figures, it was a way for him to finally connect with me on something that we could have in common. I remember he was floored with the Star Wars room. I could see in his face that he was very proud of me because of having that.
Did Star Wars bring you closer in a way?
In a way. So when I was really little, and after The Empire Strikes Back came out, one of my favorite scenes is the dream sequence where, Luke is on Dagobah and he fights Darth Vader and he chops his head off with the lightsaber. And I wanted that figure so bad. I'm like, why aren't they making this figure? So my father, without telling me, went to the store and bought me a second Darth Vader figure, cut the head off, drilled a hole in the head, and put a little wooden dowel for its neck so I could have a Darth Vader that would do that with a removable head. It's one of the first things I almost show people when they come into my room. I'm like, you gotta see this thing that my dad did for me. And that was one of my favorite figures of all time, because it's not just about the figure, it's about the act of love that he did, you know, to give that to me.
That's really special.
Yeah. Everybody can relate to Star Wars, even people who aren't fans. If you really look at it, there's at least one element that someone can relate to and hold on to and attach to. You know, losing my dad this year, I look at those, you know, parent-child relationships in these movies in a whole new way now than I did before.
Luke, just for once, let me look on you with my own eyes.
Just seeing, you know, the bond that Luke felt for his father, even though he knew his father was like the villain of the galaxy, he loved his dad and he wanted a relationship with his dad. I don't think I looked at that as deeply as I do now. It's amazing how you can just make new meaning out of it that you didn't before because of whatever circumstances are happening in your life at the time.
Now go, my son.
When we're struggling with something and trying to work our way through it, that's how we grow, right? And Star Wars definitely was that for me. It put me on a journey of my life that I have become very proud of. I don't think anybody could ever envision the way it would touch all of our lives. If it were not for Star Wars, I don't know if I would have been as confident of a person to be who I am, to be out. I'm born this way, and now I'm proud of it, and I've learned to be proud of it, and I think that a lot of that is because of Star Wars. The Force is always with me.
I love that. It's beautiful.
Thank you.